Hello and welcome back to another episode of Come Back Stronger, brought to you by Fasig Brooks Law Offices. I'm Dana Brooks and I'm joined with my law partner, Jimmy Fasig. We have got a great show for everybody today.
Douglas.
We've got Ashley Douglas, y'all. I love her. You're not going to believe her energy. You've met her. You've known her for years.
Yes.
She and I go way back. She's a special person to me. But boy, when you look at what she has done, she is one entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. And the key for her, what I love about her is she took a very bad situation and she turned it around to change her entire life and the lives of many others.
Oh yeah, and she refocused her efforts. You know, she's you'll hear her story about how she was always about being an owner. Mm-hmm. And I love that in young people because a lot of them, they don't know exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they'll think, well, I'll get on and I'll work several years with this and maybe I'll learn a trade or maybe I'll do something and go into a different area. But she knew right off the bat, I want to be an owner. I want to be a job creator. Mm-hmm. She knew that was a way to have stability and have a voice in her community and be a leader, but also to help some other people who may not be as focused and driven as she is to get to reach their goals. So I love Ashley's energy. I love her determination. Then we talk about COVID and how she pivoted during that, but mainly she's sunshine.
Yeah,
she's
she
just
really is.
sunshine.
She's got a ton of energy. She's got a ton of focus. She knows what she wants, and she went for it, and she got it. So it's very exciting. Can't wait for y'all to hear this story.
Yeah, we'll be back after this first break for Carrie Roan's interview, her first interview with Ashley Douglas, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about.
I recently had a new client and she suffered a mild traumatic brain injury.
Okay.
And she had no idea what had happened that caused her to be injured.
Gotcha.
But it turns out she had fallen into a pit at an oil change station. And it was 100% their fault.
Oh, wow.
But her injury made her not even understand
her injury, and
how
it makes me so frustrated because folks that suffer concussions or mild traumatic brain injuries, it's really difficult for them to know what happened and to understand the difference in what their life was and what it is now because of the nature of their condition. And so the insurance companies need to recognize the full value of that.
Yeah, instead of taking advantage of that very unique situation.
It took her family telling her, you need to call an attorney. Her family coming with her to the appointment to say, these are the differences to get her in there, and now we're able to help her.
I love that. And we are back for Carrie Roan's first interview, the first segment of her interview with Ashley Douglas.
So, Miss Ashley, thank you so much for being here on our Come Back Stronger show today.
Absolutely. Hey.
I know that you're friends with Dana, and I know that you're a former client of Dana's, but before we talk about that, where are you from?
I'm from Bainbridge, Georgia, a small town in Georgia on the Florida-Georgia line.
And so now you own a hair salon in Tallahassee called...
She's a Hottie Hair Salon.
And it's doing so well.
Yes, it is.
I see it all over the place.
Yes.
So, you came from some pretty humble beginnings and now you're so successful, and really you're such a bright light everywhere I see you. Your smile, your persona is so positive.
Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit about your journey from where you came from as a kid and where you are now.
Okay.
And how you overcame some challenges along the way.
Okay, awesome.
So did you go to, how did you make your way from Bainbridge to Tallahassee?
Well, actually, I just was ready to get out the house and, grow up.
Yeah.
So my options were I was going to go to Valdosta State, Valdosta, Georgia, to live and go to cosmetology school. But I just decided to come to Tallahassee because my cousin was moving here already. So I said, well, hey, I'll be a roommate.
So you knew you wanted to be a cosmetologist when you were younger?
Always. I used to play with Barbie dolls when I was young, do my grandmother's hair. Like, it's always been within me to do hair. So.
Where were you working before you went out on your own?
I was at the Next Level Hair Salon working with my mentor, Jolanda Powell. So I was working with her, and opportunity came for me to have my own salon, and that's what I did.
So it can be scary to open your own business though, right?
It can be for a lot of people, but for me, it's always been instilled in me to be a business owner, to own ownership. That's always been within me from an early age.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you find the courage to do it? Because I think it's very scary to go from a great salon like Next Level to your own.
Well, it wasn't so much the courage for me, it was more so the finances. So I was always ready to do it, I just wasn't financially in position to do it,
And so, like, did you have to figure out where to go and pull from resources to get the finances, or how did you make all that happen?
So, actually, years ago, I had an injury, and I reached out to Fasig Brooks. Well, I reached out to Dana Brooks, and she worked on my case with the injury that I had, and it allowed me to have the money and finances to do what I wanted to do. So that's when I opened up She's a Hottie Hair Salon.
That's
soon
awesome.
After.
So it sounds like you were in a car accident, I think, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was in a car accident.
And I know you had some pretty bad injuries from it. So I think that case went on for a long period of time, right?
It did. It took a while because it was a medical malpractice case. And that typically takes a while, so it did take a while for them to get everything together and do everything, but yeah.
I know we don't want to get into the details of it too much, but you know, you're a very strong woman, and you obviously are very independent, and you can take care of everything yourself.
Yes.
And I think what happens a lot, especially with women that go through personal injury, is that they feel like, I can handle this, I can do this, I got it. I don't need to have a case, I don't need to have a lawyer. So with you, what made you pick up the phone and call Dana and say, you know, I need some help?
Well, Dana was referred to me by another lawyer friend, and I reached out to Dana, and they pretty much do everything for you. I don't have to speak, you know, you don't have to speak with any insurance companies or anything that other people may be intimidated by. They take care of everything, so that's just, you know, it made it so much easier for me to go on with my decision.
Yeah.
So
Dana took all the legal stuff off of your plate, and you could just
Right.
focus on getting better.
Right, absolutely.
And I think that's a message so many people need to hear, because they get intimidated by the insurance company, or they get intimidated by the process, and they just don't want to be, I don't want to be somebody that sues.
Right.
Because people are going to look down on me if I sue and stick up for myself.
Right.
But in your case, did you feel like that?
No, I never felt that way. I always felt comfortable throughout the whole process. They were a phone call away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never felt that.
It seems like with you and your relationship with Dana, you just kind of hired a team to stand behind you.
Right.
And help you defend yourself.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to, you know, just hiring some lawyer that sits up in some tall building that you never talk to.
That you never talked to, yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's like, why not reach out to a team and have people help you along this journey?
Right.
That's awesome. And then you develop such a great relationship with Dana that she's been your biggest cheerleader with your business.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
She has been wonderful.
And now your new ventures.
yes.
What did you use within yourself while you were going through your case and through your injuries to kind of stay positive and see the light at the end of the tunnel? Because I know that must have been a time that you were suffering, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a woman of big faith. You know, I always been that way. So throughout anything that I endure in life, my faith, you know, it just supersedes it all. So that's what kept me together.
That's awesome.
And that's just honest.
So the power of prayer.
Yes.
And then I imagine you have a pretty supportive community within your church around you too.
Oh yeah, I have amazing pastors. I have amazing friends and family. I am fortunate enough to have a great circle around me. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
So Dana did well for you on your case.
she did.
That's good. That's good. What we try to encourage a lot of people is that, you know, it's tough to go through a case and it's tough to have personal injuries, but what we're trying to do for our clients is make it so that when they come out on the other side, they're in a better position than they were before they even had to have a case.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the whole come back stronger game plan.
Absolutely.
And so
Right.
that's what worked for you.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it did work for me.
That's awesome. So you obviously got compensated through Dana's efforts from your
Right.
medical malpractice case.
Yes.
And then what did you do with that money?
So, for sure, I, you know, took care of a lot of things that needed to be taken care of. But the main thing I wanted to do was start my own business.
Yeah.
You know, the time was now. So I went ahead, never had a business before. I always been self-employed with cosmetology, but never owned a business. So I just reached out to people I knew, you know, people that, you know, you're good in this area. I reach out to you. Hey, can you help me out with this? Hey, how do I, you know, get my name? How do I do this? How, you know, and that's what I did.
So you leaned on people that you saw as being successful
Absolutely.
and asked them questions.
Ask them questions, yeah.
So you have to put yourself out there and be confident and
Yeah.
reach out.
And you can't expect people to just, oh, I want to own a business, and then they just gravitate to you and start telling you stuff. You have to get out there and ask questions, you know, so that's what I did.
And that takes a lot of courage, though.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Did you face rejection along the way? Like, did you ask people to help and they said no?
Actually, no. It was smooth selling.
That's awesome.
The whole process of opening the business was smooth selling.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues.
Well, I want to talk about that a little bit more.
You know, you can tell just from her energy that she's one of these people who would be sitting, you know, in a hospital coming out of intensive care going, wonder how to, you know, polish this apple up and make it a little bit shinier.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
She did that, and she just said, okay, this is not a setback. This is an opportunity. You talk about that all the time in your Come Back Stronger groups.
Yep. Every injury, every obstacle, every setback is an opportunity to begin again, wiser and stronger. I wholeheartedly believe that. What I love about her, a couple things. The first thing that I love about her is her faith.
Yeah.
Her faith, she believes in God. She also believed in herself.
Yeah.
She always wanted to be an owner. She always played with Barbie dolls. She always knew what she wanted. And she was focused and determined, and she believed that she could do it.
And she knew it would be a success.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah, and it absolutely did. So I always like to tell people are like, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But that's the opposite. That's putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
You will see it once you believe it.
That's exactly right.
And that's what she did. She envisioned it, she made it happen, and then now she's the owner of a cosmetology business. You've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that because she just said, no, this will be successful. I will reach out. Those people will be there. And every bit of that came true because she decided that before she even attempted this endeavor. So when we come back from the break, we're going to have a quick break here, and then we'll hear Carrie Roan's second interview with her, and you'll get into a little bit more that she's into. So she's very inspiring. So we'll be right back.
You know what's funny? When law firms advertise that they'll give a free consultation, every consultation we give is free, unless we can get you a settlement based on your injuries.
Right.
Every time you give me a call, it's free.
Yeah.
I want you to give me a call.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to charge you unless we actually get you something for your case.
That's right. You don't have to pay me anything unless I win the case.
Right.
And on top of that, I'm going to pay for all of the court costs and the deposition costs and medical records costs and expert opinions costs. All of that's coming out of my pocket, and if we don't win the case, then we eat those costs at no charge to you.
Right. So we don't take a case we don't believe in because it's not in our interest.
Right.
And we don't minimize or devalue your case because that's also not in our interest. Right. So it makes everything fair.
If you have a lawyer on a contingency fee, you can hire the very best lawyer.
And we are back for Carrie Roan's second section of her interview with Ashley Douglas, and we'll find out just how innovative she is whenever she gets in front of a challenge. So take a look.
All right, Miss Ashley, so when did your case with Dana finish?
It was 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you and Dana have remained close friends ever since?
Yes. Out of all these years.
Has she been kind of a mentor along the way, even after your case was over?
Yes, she has been. Throughout the years, she always made herself open and available for me to reach out to her. She always tells me, Ashley, if you need anything, you have any questions, just contact me, let me know. And that's something that I greatly appreciate about her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And when did you open your business?
I opened up, actually, I think I opened the same year. It was 2014.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's been named the same all along?
She's a Hottie Hair Salon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Has it grown since?
It has. So over the years, I have a few stations in there. Over the years, I've been blessed to have really good stylists work with me, people who stay with me for many years. And so now I have a whole new team in my salon. And they are absolutely wonderful. I just say God just is blessing me, with that business. Because that's the reason why I wanted to open up a business, to create opportunity for other women to be self-employed and make your own money so that one day they can branch off and get their own salons or whatever it is that they want to do on their own.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what you did was you turned a really bad thing going on in your life into a good thing, not only for yourself, but for all these other women that you've employed.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely. Because that's what it's all about. It's not all about you just building yourself. You know, you have to be able to bring people with you, along with you. You don't want to be, you know, one day you're at the top and, you know, everybody's, you know, you want to help people get there so we all can be a force.
Right.
Know?
You want to pull them up with you and not just look down on them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, some people may get businesses where they feel like they want people to work there forever, and that's not me. You know, I'm grateful for the people who have come and who have gone to do great things, you know, so.
Yeah.
That's what.
So what I want to ask you about is a little bit more of a sensitive topic.
Okay.
But there's very few women that own businesses, and there's very few African American women that own businesses.
Right.
Have you had some special challenges along the way as a black woman that owns a business in Tallahassee?
I would say, not me personally.
Yeah.
Have I had anything that happened, but I do know of other business owners that have had challenges, other black owned businesses, and it's unfortunate, but I would say the best thing to do, ownership is the best thing. Even if you're working a 9 to 5 or what have you, find something that you like, find something that you like, have a hobby in.
Yeah, that you're passionate about.
About, and just make a business for yourself. So you have to start somewhere. Ownership is everything. Yeah.
So what would you say to people who are facing challenges as business owners, or when they're trying to start up their businesses, just to keep persevering through it? You'll get there.
You know, one thing about it, you're gonna always find somebody who can help you. Always. If you get one no, 2 no, 3 no's, you're gonna get a yes somewhere. You have to stay persistent, and you have to keep on trying to get that yes.
Yeah.
You have to keep trying to get that, you know. Don't be discouraged. A lot of people are discouraged or apprehensive about opening a business, and it's just always been within me from a kid. You know what I mean? So ownership has always been my mentality, but the older I'm getting, I'm noticing that some people are really scared to jump out there to own, you know. But it's the best thing, because you have full control over your life, how you get your finances, how you know.
Yeah.
It's the best thing, and you can leave something behind for your kids and your children. So
I love that.
yeah, absolutely.
I think one of the things that you do too with your business that I admire about you is your marketing. I think a lot of people don't really understand how to market their business.
Right.
So how do you market, and especially on social media, where are you and how do you market it?
Wow, that's a really good question. So over the years, I've been in business for 6.5 years. So social media has really just blowed up since then.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to roll with the punches, you know, with social media. It's a certain time, you know, you have to be consistent with making your posts to make people interested or, you know, intrigued on wanting to support your business. So that can be a lot sometimes. However, I have a Cooking Healthy with Ashley page. I have a She's a Hottie hair salon page on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, Ashley Douglas. If you have to book any hair services, you can go to www.she'sahottie.hairsalon.
Okay. And book online?
You can book online. Everything you need, the services and everything is well detailed. So it's very easy to book with me. I also offer VIP day on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's when a client comes in. You're the only one that comes in. You don't have to wait. You have a nice beverage. You have the massage chair. You get a good hair steamer treatment.
Cool.
And so you have all those, you know, extra amenities, you know, as you're getting your hair done. So it makes you feel special. So
I love that.
I offer that every Sunday as well.
I love that. So you're going above and beyond with your business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Above and beyond. The ladies in my salon are wonderful. One of the girls, she did my hair today. And one of the other girls, she makes custom earrings.
Oh, cool.
And so she made these,
oh,
you know.
Nice.
And so just a good team, a lot of love. And yeah, we just try to keep our content consistent on social media. So
And you're staying on top of technology, and you're keeping it all positive too, which I
Right,
love. You're not on social media tearing down other businesses or other women or other people. You're on there lifting people up.
Right. You're never gonna grow that way.
Yeah.
You're never gonna grow trying to tear somebody else down. No. Always remain positive. If somebody is being negative to you, you take the high road and you just continue to be positive.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Well, right now, I've been starting up my Cooking Healthy with Ashley. That's my second business that I've been starting.
So you weren't busy enough with your first business?
You know, I wasn't busy enough. So, well, actually, during the pandemic, I started doing meal preps and, you know, prepping my food, making salads and certain things, and everybody else wanted that. So I started providing the services for, you know, the public. You know, I went ahead and got my food manager license.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a lot of things I got going on right now with that. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I just want, you know, everybody to know that Cooking Healthy with Ashley, definitely be on the lookout for that in Tallahassee.
That's so cool, and that's a great example of what you said earlier. If you're passionate about something, you can turn it into a side hustle, or you can turn it into your own business.
Right, absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Oh, absolutely.
This has been so much fun, and I can't wait to see where your star rises next. I really can't wait.
Oh, thank you.
I love it.
Oh, wow. What a great segment. Yeah, how about that? I mean, it's not enough to start one business, you know, that came out of absolute just agony, pain, and suffering, and just took her so long to build herself and her health and her strength back. And then to be able to take such a bad situation and start this business with it. But then she wasn't done. You know, COVID comes
She's
around and
starting another business.
you're not really right up in everybody's face during, you know, quarantine. So she's like, okay, plan
She
B.
had to pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I love about Ashley is the idea that she took an opportunity and she didn't hesitate. She went full speed ahead, and that's what I see happening in life is that we're all given opportunities. In fact, opportunities surround us. They're everywhere. But the idea is to take advantage of those opportunities, because those windows of opportunities, even though they're everywhere, there's a time limit. Those windows are constantly closing, and so it's all about recognizing the opportunity and taking advantage of it, and that's exactly what Ashley did.
And so many times women especially will put themselves and their dreams last because they have all these responsibilities for everybody else, and they think, well, you know, I'll try it when the kids get to this level, or when my husband retires, or when the kids go to college. There's always this when, but like you said, you can't count on those opportunities to be around then. And I say this all the time, but I can tell you a lot of women who've tried something and have been very successful, but I don't know many who've tried something and failed. But I know a ton of them who just didn't try.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
and like Ashley points out, she goes, yes, it's not a race, you know, but you do have to start.
Yes.
So maybe it's a side hustle that you try to monetize. Who knows? But we could talk a little bit more about just some of the takeaways and some of the inspirations that she's generated in me, and I'm sure you've got some more thoughts on it too. But we're going to take a break real quick, and we'll wind up after this.
I went to lunch with one of my former clients the other day, and she's doing great. She took the money from her settlement and she started her own company buying and selling vehicles, which is really cool because she was in a car crash and then needed a new vehicle. And so now she's able to help other folks out.
Most of our clients, they find that one of the most frustrating things is the dealing with the vehicle.
Oh, well, losing your car can totally disrupt your life.
You can lose your livelihood over it. If you can't get to work, or you know, what's the worst thing with our clients is we're just trying to help them get well. But if they can't get to the health care that they need, you know, that's just another setback.
One of the typical things about a comeback story is you take the pain and the struggles and the challenges that you've been through, and you use that as the fire that kind of motivates you to do something good for other people.
Yeah.
And so I love that, because now our client did exactly that, like literally to the T.
And we are back. You know, one of the things that Ashley did whenever we got struck with the COVID deal to have to deal with is she got very serious about her health and the food choices, the exercise, that sort of thing. So like some of us kind of went the other direction with COVID.
Sure.
They're trying to have a
added the
correction.
COVID-19, yes.
Yeah, she went the exact opposite way, and so I love following her because she's big on social media. I realize now that I need to hire Carrie Roan to promote me.
Yes.
But Ashley does most of that herself, and with the help of some other good friends who want to see her succeed in everything she does. But she's real active on social media. I love following her, and every time I see her in a group and she's working out, and then next thing I know, she'll post all these pictures of this gorgeous food, and it's so bright and it's beautiful, and these salads, they're just gorgeous. I mean, she looks like a food stylist by the time she puts this stuff on. But it's just a whole commitment to, I want to live a more healthful lifestyle. And then next thing you know, it's infectious, and she's spreading that to other people.
What I love about her most is Ashley's positive energy.
100%.
And that infiltrates into everything that she does. And one of the quotes that I love that she says, you can't grow by tearing somebody else down. And she absolutely embodies that. She is bringing the positive energy. She's
profound.
ignoring the haters.
Yeah.
Ignoring the haters, and she is shining in her own light. And that's what I love to do. I mean, that's how we kind of run our business. We're trying to shine in our own light.
Yeah, and you have to drown out the noise. You got to drown out the haters, because somebody's always going to have something there. Somebody's going to always be coming for you. But she's like, I don't have any time for that.
Right.
That's noise. That's slowing my roll. I'm going to take the high road and stay on track to my goals.
But it's no accident that she's very, very successful in her business, and she's constantly attracting new clients, new customers, and she's so successful that she can start another business, she can start a side business. It's because of that positive energy. It's because of her methodically lifting people up. That's what she does as a hairdresser. That is she's trying to make people feel good about themselves, and she's got that down pat. That's the key to her success.
Well, she's putting out good energy in the world, and the universe is giving it back to her. I mean, that's just very basic. I know that sounds a little, but that's true. so true. And how many people do you know who spend a lot of time putting other people down or running them to the ground or whatever? Next thing you know, there's not a lot of good going on in their lives.
Right.
They're not having a lot of financial or commercial success. They just kind of mired in negativity, because it's like negative gets negative, positive gets
positive. What you put out comes back to you. The law of karma, what comes around goes around. And so that's what's happened with Ashley, is that she's put out that positive energy. Now she's given back to the community, and it's all coming back to her.
Yeah, and she got a mentor, and she would be a mentor. So reach out to people like her. Join our Facebook groups, our Come Back Stronger, and watch our show every week, and recommend anybody you think would be a good fit for a Come Back Stronger story. See you next.
And you know what the insurance company offered him? $5,000.
Really?
He's completely blind, and they offer him $5,000. Ask him to sign a release.
To a lot of people, especially when they're hurting and when they're down and when they're vulnerable, $5,000 is a life-changing amount of money.
Yeah.
And they're not looking at the value of what has been lost. They're not looking at what it would take to make that person whole, which is our job.
Yeah.
That's our job. Their job isn't. Their job is to save the insurance company money.
Right.
And they look at this person and they go, I bet $5,000 would get your full attention. Right. And they come in and they dangle it with a settlement release, and then once you sign it, you're done. You can't come back to us and ask us to wave a magic wand and make that go away. That can't go away.
My client didn't accept the $5,000. We took him all the way to trial. We got a $5 million verdict.